Okay, we are ready for science, and I hope you have your book out. You can turn your book to page 278 where it says respiratory problems. And I want you to pull out your study guide that looks like this. This is page 185. And I want you to have that out and you can follow along. I'm going to read from page 278 to page 281 with you, and we're going to read about respiratory problems. And while I read, I want you to be looking for the answers on this paper. So look over it quickly right now. If you need to pause me so that you can figure out what it is that you're going to be looking for, then do that so that you can be listening as we go through this together. Okay. The respiratory system involves many parts. God's design connects the different parts of our bodies to work together. When all the parts are working properly, you hardly notice any of them. However, if one part stops working well, you usually notice it very quickly. The problem may be merely an annoyance, such as a stuffy head or a runny nose, or it could be a life-threatening problem, such as when the body is not able to get the air that it needs. Respiratory problems vary a lot. That means that they're different, aren't they? Some affect only one part of the respiratory system. Others, however, can cause trouble for many parts. Some are sicknesses that come and go, whereas others may last a person's whole life. Diseases. Many diseases can affect the body's ability to breathe properly. The most common respiratory disease is a cold. Cold viruses usually affect the nose and throat, causing their cells to swell. The cells start producing more mucus than normal, and the person may have trouble breathing through his nose. Colds can also affect the sinuses, ears, and bronchi. Influenza or the flu is also caused by a virus. Flu viruses are similar to cold viruses. They often have some of the same symptoms. Flu viruses, though, usually also cause fevers, headaches, and muscle aches. The viruses may lead to a more serious illness or infection. And that's exactly what we're dealing with right now, right? The COVID-19 is a virus, and but because it is a strain that our bodies are not used to yet. A lot of these, the common cold that goes around, most our bodies, and the flu, our bodies are used to them, and they kind of have a natural immunity to them, to where they don't hurt us as much. And this one is a little bit different. That's why things have changed so drastically, because it's spreading very quickly and is causing more serious health problems. Both colds and the flu are very contagious or easy to spread to other people. Colds and the flu are usually spread through the air when a sick person coughs or sneezes. And that's why right now we're wanting everyone to wear a mask, right? If you wear a mask, it's blocking your germs from coming in contact with other people. When another person inhales, he breathes in the virus. That particular virus may or may not make him sick. Sometimes a person may get sick by touching his mouth or nose after he has touched something that a sick person has coughed or sneezed on. Frequent hand washing can keep viruses from spreading. We've heard that a lot, haven't we? Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Some problems affect the throat, another part of the respiratory system. Many different things cause sore throats. Sometimes dust or smoke in the air can irritate the throat and cause it to be sore. The extra mucus produced because of a cold or flu may also irritate the lining in the throat. The throat usually has a coating that helps keep it moist. Sometimes extreme coughing will dry out the throat and cause it to hurt. Occasionally, a virus or bacteria may infect the throat or larynx. Strep throat is a type of infection that is caused by bacteria. A person with strep throat will usually have a high fever for several days. A doctor can test to see if a sore throat is strep throat. If it is, the doctor can prescribe medicine to help the body get rid of the bacteria. Sometimes a cold or flu can turn into bronchitis. This disease causes the bronchi to become infected and swollen. A germ, such as a virus, irritates the lining of the bronchi. This often causes the cilia to stop moving. They cannot trap or remove particles. The air passages become blocked and more mucus is produced. The extra mucus in the bronchi makes it harder for the air to pass in and out of the lungs. This is why a person with bronchitis often sounds raspy. He also may cough a lot. Coughing is the body's way to try to remove the extra mucus. Pneumonia is a lung infection. It is caused by viruses or bacteria and may develop from another illness. The infection causes the lungs to fill with fluid. The fluid keeps the lungs from being able to properly fill with air. Oxygen cannot reach all areas of the lungs. This makes it hard for oxygen to get from the alveoli to the bloodstream. Allergies. Sneezing does not always mean that you have a cold. It may mean that you are having an allergic reaction to something. The air that we inhale usually contains particles such as dust and pollen. For some people, this dust or pollen may cause breathing problems. Their bodies react to things in the air that other people may not even notice. People with respiratory allergies often sneeze. They may also have runny noses, itchy eyes, or breathing problems. Allergies often come and go with the seasons. For example, pollen is in the air the most in the spring and the fall. A person may be fine in the winter but react as soon as the spring pollen arrives. An allergy is not contagious. It cannot be spread like a cold or the flu can. Asthma. Asthma is a disorder that causes the small bronchial tubes to become narrow from time to time. This can make it hard for a person to breathe. Asthma can vary a lot from person to person. Some people with asthma have very few problems, whereas others have severe difficulties. Do you remember that we talked about Theodore Roosevelt having asthma when he was younger? Allergies and air pollution are two things that may cause someone to have an asthma attack. During an attack, the muscles around the bronchial tubes tighten more than normal. This makes the bronchial tubes smaller. The airways are often swollen and irritated. This makes it difficult for the person to breathe. The person may cough and wheeze as he breathes. Someone with asthma may use an inhaler. The inhaler contains medicine that can be breathed in. It can help prevent an asthma attack from starting or getting worse. Asthma is not contagious. Most people with asthma are able to keep it under control. This way, they can still participate in sports and other activities. Okay, now, smoking. Smoking is harmful to your health. Cigarette smoke contains poisonous chemicals that harm the lungs and other parts of the body. Most of the smoke particles are very small. They cannot be trapped by the cilia and the mucus in the airways. These poisonous chemicals then get into the lungs. As the smoke particles cool, they form a sticky tar that stays in the lungs. As the smoke particles cool, they form, already read that. The tar makes the cilia clump together so that they cannot work properly. When this happens, dust, dirt, and smoke stay in the lungs. This sticky tar may cause diseases such as lung cancer. Another deadly disease caused by cigarette smoking is emphysema. Sometimes cigarette smoke causes the alveoli to stop working properly. This keeps the lungs from being able to transfer oxygen and carbon dioxide between the air and the blood. Once the alveoli are damaged, they cannot be repaired. People with emphysema have difficulty breathing. They also get tired a lot. This is because they do not get enough oxygen into their bloodstream. Even blowing out a match can be difficult for them to do. The human body is one of God's marvelous designs. He created all of the parts of our body to work together. The respiratory system works with other systems in our body to keep us alive. We should say with the psalmist in Psalm 139, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works. Our bodies were made by God and belong to him. Taking care of our bodies brings glory to him. Okay, so look back over your paper and make sure that you have answered every question from this section. And then I want you to give me one thing you can do that is going to be taking care of your body, because your last question says, why is it important as Christians to take care of our bodies? And we know it's because we honor God through our lives, and we want to make sure that we continue, that we do what we can to have a healthy life. So, what is something that you can do to make sure that your body is healthy? So, I will do blank to care for my body. I will not do, sometimes it's a not do. I will not do this so that I can have a healthy body. So give me a good sentence below. Try not to repeat. Try to look at the other ones and try to come up with something original. All right, what can you do to keep your body healthy and well?